Hi, so here's a video on how to make the Mad Max style paracord bracelet. Hope it's helpful. So we start with about 10-ish feet of paracord. You can obviously have more or less, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. You also have a lighter, pair of scissors, and a single chopstick. You can also use a pencil, and it's not necessary, but it is helpful. And so we start with the cord, which has already, you can see how the end has been melted here. That's already good, so it's been sealed. And we're gonna fold it in half. Yeah, it's long. Woo! I don't know why I'm making weird noises. Okay, so now those two ends, so we can fold it in half. And you don't have to be like totally exact with this stuff, but I mean, try your best. Ooh. Yeah, that curling just means that it's been wrapped too much by me. Okay, so we have the halfway point here. So this will be like the middle of the bracelet right here. And so we're going to do an approximate measurement about how big we're going to want this. So if you wrap the cords around twice, this is about how long we want to have for working. So yeah, you can see there's a very, very, very long tail. And so that's what we'll be working with. And so you now have these loops, and you make little bunny ears. And with the working ends, not the looped end, you're going to put the left one over, then the right over the left, and the right one's going to go under and through this pink loop. And so you'll see this is sort of a knot type thing. These loops here in the top, they will change size and stuff as you work. Don't worry about that. We will sort it later. And so then we do the next part. And at this point, we're doing what's called a cobra braid. And we're going to do that for the entire length of the bracelet. And so as you can see, we took the pink one under and it went through, while the yellow, now blue, went back and around. And so then we'll do that the opposite side. And the stitches just sort of go like this. You'll see the back is pretty much the same, just opposite sides. And so yeah, just continue this one for a while. Probably gonna fast forward through this part. I don't know. Maybe we're just gonna cut it. Or maybe I'm just gonna sit here and talk to myself, and you're all gonna have to deal with it. Yeah, the reason it's called the Mad Max style paracord bracelet is because in Mad Max Fury Road, he has paracord bracelet. That's really cool. It's got its own fastening closing system thingy. Doesn't need a buckle or anything. And it's adjustable. And it's Mad Max. So, yeah, all these things definitely in his favor. And that's why it's this style. Some awesome people online have been able to figure out the pattern that was used. They've shared it. So if I'm making absolutely no sense to you, then you can go and look online, and they'll have better tutorials by people who are actually professionals at this thing. And we just keep going, we just keep going. Yeah, like, oh, it's actually sort of a braid thing. And yeah, it seems really, really stiff. And you can sort of tighten it together, squeeze. But you'll see that it actually does move pretty well as a bracelet. If you're watching this because you came from my party, thank you so much and I love you very much. If you're watching this for some other reason, hi, I have no idea why you're here, but glad you are. Just keep going, we just keep going, we just keep going. Yep. So actually, like, it's not too long of a project, which is really nice. Some of the other stuff that I've got, that takes forever, but it's fun. I'm literally just blathering to myself at this point. You can check to see how much more you got to go. I got a lot. So you didn't have to watch me go through all the braiding. Here is what, when you have a full length, the end of the cobra braid. You can see that the little end loops kind of got a little lost in there, but that's what we're going to use the chopstick for. But at this point, we're going to take these ends here. We've got a bit of scrap, which is nice. And we're going to cut them. And then we're going to use the lighter to melt them together. I'd say don't try this at home, but whatever, you do what you want. Yeah. Ooh. So you'll melt down the paracord, which is a nice sort of plasticky thing. And what you're doing is you are both making sure that the ends are finished, but also that the braid doesn't come undone. So, yep. And it might be a little loose, but if it is enough of an issue, you can either pull this loop through it. It's now on the, nope, they came undone. So at this point, you just have to melt them together again. And instead of using your fingers to put them together, you can use like a thimble or a coin or even the butt of the lighter rather than your fingers, because yeah, it's hot. It is very hot. Sort of paraffin wax-esque hot, so beware for that. But yeah, you want to make sure that that's pretty well sealed. But we can still put the loop through so that it doesn't seem as long and or loopy. And now we're going to do another thing with fire. We're going to boop. And so now we take this loop, make sure we find that end, and we're going to cut it. So actually this bracelet ends up being 2 pieces of paracord rather than one long one, but still each piece will be about 5 feet long, which is pretty good for any kind of emergency that you would need paracord for. If you need more than that, then well, you've got the other one, and they are melted together. So up to you. And so now you will end up threading these ends through these holes here. Well, they're not holes now, but you take the chopstick and just sort of wiggle it, force it a bit wide, maybe a bit more, and then you can take the corresponding side and pull it through. Yay! Sometimes it takes a little bit of work and a little bit of effort, and I'm not good with recording stuff. But see, it goes right through. It's very nice. And then we take this loop and this chopstick, give us a little bit of wiggle room. And it ends up sort of going back to a tighter shape after a bit, so you don't have to worry about it being too loose at that point. And so this is sort of the closing mechanism. You can see it's nice, secure, firm. And so then we're going to have to figure out a way to tie these two together. You can use a double knot if you're so inclined. Just classic. Holds well, looks okay, depending on what you're into. But the one in the movie uses what's called a lanyard knot, or also known as a diamond knot. So we're going to attempt that. And this one is a bit tricky, so you might see me mess up a few times. But basically, you're trying to get it to weave into itself. That sounds weird, but we want this one up from the bottom. We want this one over. We'll edit this part. Sorry. Loops here. This one's going to go over, under, it is nicer to have sort of a longer tail at this end, but you also don't want it to be too long, so it's a bit of a catch-22 on that one. Yeah, so essentially one of them comes through the top, one of them comes through the bottom. That would mean this one would go up and around that way. Go down. Here. In this case it is over, under, over, under. Nope, almost. We got one side done. This is going to go underneath and then through. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So this is the first part. Thankfully you've got the color so you can see that it goes whoop. And you can see that sort of self-regulating, holding, whatever. And then you're going to take these and you're going to wrap it and then up through the center. And you're going to take this tail, you're going to go around up through the center. And just pull them both. And sometimes you just gotta sort of rub between your fingers and such. Keep pulling on things until they look neat. But then you end up with this really pretty knot. This is the lanyard knot, also known as diamond knot. So if you want better instructions than the ones I just gave, then you can use that. And then this is your Mad Max style paracord bracelet. Nice, adjustable, fits on your wrist, and just pull it tight. And it actually holds pretty well, and so you can do whatever you want and leave it on. And that's it.